Watertown is the suburb that could beat Newton, Belmont, and Cambridge in the next 5 years. And it isn't just catching up, it's becoming a frontrunner. Prices are climbing, new projects are everywhere, and if you don't notice now, you'll regret it later. For a long time, Watertown was quiet. No train stop, older houses, not much attention. But that's changing really fast. Arsenal Yards is packed with restaurants and shops, big companies are moving in, and families are coming here when Cambridge gets too expensive. Skip Watertown now and you'll either miss your best shot to buy in Greater Boston or pay a premium for being late. I've spent nearly a decade helping people buy and sell in Greater Boston, including right in Watertown, and I've actually lived in Watertown myself. I've seen the neighborhoods transform, the values skyrocket, and buyers kick themselves for not acting sooner. And I don't want that to happen to you. Let's look at what it's really like to live here, the good, the bad, and why this town's future could really surprise you. Let's start with the basics. Watertown sits just 6 miles from downtown Boston, which puts you close enough to everything without the noise and crowds of the city itself. Getting around by car, you're golden. The Mass Pike runs right through the town, Soldiers Field Road connects you to downtown, and Memorial Drive gets you to Cambridge in just minutes. I tell my clients this all the time. If you're driving to work, Watertown's location is really hard to beat. Now, public transit is a totally different story. There's no direct T-stop, which means that you're relying on buses to get to Harvard Square, Kendall, and Central Square. It's not terrible, but it's an extra step that most people find annoying. But here's the thing, the missing T-stop is also exactly why Watertown stayed undervalued for so long. While everyone is fighting over places right on the red line, Watertown was quietly developing into something special. The lack of train made it less obvious to buyers, which kept prices pretty reasonable. That's changing now, but for years it was Watertown's best kept secret. The commute situation works for a lot of people, especially if you're driving or working hybrid, but if you're someone who absolutely needs to hop on the T every morning, you'll definitely want to factor in that bus connection. Let's talk about what you can actually afford here. Watertown has a nice mix of housing, 2 families, condos, and single-family homes. You'll find everything from classic triple-deckers to newer luxury apartments, especially around Arsenal Yards. Prices are definitely climbing. I've watched it happen a lot over the past few years. But here's what matters. Watertown is still more affordable than Cambridge, Belmont, and Newton. Not by a huge margin anymore, but enough to make a difference when you're house hunting. The new luxury apartments around Arsenal Yards are shifting demand. You're getting people who want that modern lifestyle but don't want to pay Cambridge prices. Families are moving here when Cambridge gets too expensive, and young professionals are choosing Watertown over Somerville or other trendy spots. The rental market is really strong too. Watertown's proximity to Cambridge and all the Boston hospitals makes it attractive to renters, which is great news if you're thinking about investment properties. What I'm seeing with my clients is bidding wars. The housing inventory is smaller than some neighboring towns, so when a good property hits the market, it moves fast. If you're serious about Watertown, you need to be ready to act quickly. Just a quick timeout here. If you're thinking about relocating to Boston, don't just rely on headlines. I've put together a free relocation guide that breaks down neighborhoods, costs, and strategies to help you plan your move. You can scan the QR code on your screen or download it using the link in the description below. Now let's get to what it's actually like to live here on a day-to-day basis. Arsenal Yards is the obvious highlight. Restaurants, a movie theater, shops, Roche Brothers for groceries. It's walkable, it's lively, and it gives Watertown something it never had before, which is a real downtown feel. But the food scene goes beyond Arsenal Yards. Watertown has this amazing Armenian, Middle Eastern, and Greek influence. Sofer Bakery is incredible if you haven't been. There are family-owned spots here that have been here for decades, serving authentic food that you won't find anywhere else in Greater Boston. The Charles River is right there too, which means bike paths, running trails, and you can even kayak. I used to run along the Charles all the time, and it's one of the best parts about living in Watertown. You get that outdoor lifestyle without having to drive to the suburbs. What I love about Watertown's community vibe is the mix. You've got old school businesses that have been here forever, and then these new trendy spots that are opening up. It doesn't feel forced or overly gentrified. It feels like a real neighborhood that's just getting better. The restaurant scene keeps expanding too. Every few months, there's a new restaurant opening up, usually higher quality than what was here before. It's becoming a legitimate food destination, not just a place where you grab dinner because it's convenient. For families, schools matter, and Watertown is making some serious investments. There's a new Watertown High School under construction, which shows that the town is really committed to education. The schools are improving with major funding, and the test scores have been trending upwards. You've got parks, playgrounds, a great library, and real civic involvement. Town meetings actually matter here. People show up, they care about what's happening, and they have a voice in the direction of the community. What's interesting too is the demographic mix. You have longtime residents who have been here for 30, 40 years, and then you have younger families who got priced out of Cambridge. That creates this blend where you get the stability of an established community, but also fresh energy from people who choose to be here. The community events are solid too. Farmers markets, street festivals, holiday celebrations. It's not trying to be something it's not, but there's definitely a sense that neighbors know each other and look out for each other. Here's where things get really interesting. Arsenal Yards isn't done expanding. There are more phases planned, which means more retail, more restaurants, and more reasons that people are going to come here. Life sciences companies are moving into former industrial sites, and that's huge because it brings high-paying jobs right into town. You don't have to commute to Kendall Square or downtown. The work is coming to you. Watertown Square has massive redevelopment potential. Right now it's a little rough around the edges, but I've seen the plans and it's going to transform completely over the next 5 to 10 years. All of this development is happening while Cambridge gets more and more expensive and more crowded. People are really starting to realize that Watertown offers a lot of what makes Cambridge appealing, but with more space, better parking, and lower prices. The rental market is responding too. Landlords are upgrading properties because they know they can get higher rents from people who want to be near Cambridge but can't afford Cambridge prices. Let's be honest about the downsides. No T-stop means you need a car or you're taking buses. For some people, that's a total deal breaker. If your entire lifestyle revolves around walking to the Red Line, Watertown might not be for you. Traffic can be frustrating, especially on Arsenal Street and Galen Street during rush hour. It's not terrible, but it is something to consider if you're commuting by car every day. The housing inventory is smaller than neighboring towns, which creates bidding wars. I've had clients lose out on houses because they weren't prepared to move fast or go over asking price. Nightlife is limited compared to Cambridge or Somerville. You've got some good restaurants and a few bars, but if you want a bar hop or need a late night scene, you're probably heading into the city. The town is still transitioning, so some areas feel more developed than others. It's not as polished as Newton or as consistently trendy as parts of Cambridge, but for a lot of people, that's actually a huge part of the appeal. So here's the bottom line. Watertown is shifting fast. It's becoming culturally vibrant. It has a strong location. New development is bringing energy and jobs, and the demand is rising. The question isn't whether Watertown will continue to grow. It's whether you want to be part of the growth or pay for it later. If you're planning a move to Greater Boston or even just starting to explore your options, schedule a free call with me and my team. We'll help you figure out whether Watertown, Newton, Belmont, or another suburb is the right fit for your lifestyle and budget. My contact information is in the description below. And if you want to compare Watertown to other top options, make sure to check out my video on the top 5 Boston suburbs to move to in 2025. I'll link it right here.